Kangaroo Island has never seen bushfires like this. 2 people have died and scores of homes and buildings are feared destroyed in the island disaster. From the air, it's clear little is left standing after fire broke containment lines and tore across the landscape, fanned by strong, volatile winds. The Ravine fire has burned more than 150,000 hectares, and for much of last night, every part of KI was at risk. Cool and wet conditions have returned tonight, giving firefighters the upper hand. In a moment, we'll go live to Kangaroo Island, but Claire Campbell begins our coverage.
A frantic firefighting effort on one of the darkest days Kangaroo Island has ever experienced.
As a result of the fire, we do have 2 fatalities. They were found on the Playford Highway. One of the deceased was in a vehicle and the other was just outside the vehicle.
The victims, respected bush pilot Dick Lang and his son Clayton, who'd been fighting the fire for 2 days. The family saying it's devastated to have lost 2 beloved family members and that it's heartbroken and reeling from a double tragedy, and are touched by people's thoughts at this difficult time. The news shocking this tight-knit community, with a minute's silence promptly held as hundreds gathered at a community meeting in the main town, Kingscote. Many here have lost their homes, livestock and businesses, among them the SA Deputy Premier.
It is an ugly sight, and the situation is, I suppose, repairable.
We've got the ute, the tractor and the pizza oven. Everything else is gone.
75-year-old Paul Houston has lived at Stokes Bay on the island for 28 years.
Strangely enough, and I don't know why, yesterday I actually went into every room in the house and took photos.
This is the most devastating, shattering day in my lifetime and my whole life on Kangaroo Island.
The number of homes and properties that have been destroyed is still being assessed. Fire has torn through more than 170,000 hectares of land on the island, wiping out most of the popular Flinders Chase National Park. Nestled in the area was luxury resort and international tourist destination Southern Ocean Lodge. This is what it used to look like. Now it's little more than ruins.
We did go in and try and save a number of assets, but fire crews were constantly having to fall back and protect themselves.
Including firefighters who had to flee their base in Pandana.
Residents fled to Kingscote and Penneshaw last night as the extreme fire took hold. Some are now being let back in to assess the damage, but most of the island's roads are still closed.
The fabric of Goss community, the Western Districts Football Club, also lost.
It's not going to look like its former glory, but we'll get a roof up and we'll get something happening. I don't know how, where, or what yet, but one thing is for sure: we all chip together and we'll get that happening.
A long road ahead to recover and rebuild.
And we have reporters Claire Campbell and Casey Briggs on Kangaroo Island. Let's start with Claire in Kingscote. And Claire, what's the latest on the fire situation?
Stacey, the fire is still burning under a watch and act level, and tonight is threatening areas around Vivon Bay and also Stokes Bay. Now, milder conditions and even rain today did stop the spread of the fire, but it is still burning out of control. The Country Fire Service had to respond to at least one significant flare-up, having to call in water bombers to assist there. Now, as residents start to return to their properties tonight, the risk of falling trees is a real danger. A total fire ban will also be in place for the island again tomorrow, Stacey.